Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. I want to shoot a video today talking about the 5 most important things to look for when you are selecting an RC charger. So these are the 5 features and things that I think are the most important, and some of them I think will actually surprise you a little bit. Some of you probably don't know some of these things to look for. So I've got 3 chargers in front of us. I've got an entry-level charger, which is the Common Sense RC AC/DC6. There's a lot of chargers that look like this, pretty much have the same software and stuff, just repackaged under different labels, so a pretty common charger. I've got a mid-range charger here on the right, the Onyx 245 made by Duratrax. And then I've got one of the high-end chargers that you can get. This is an iCharger 406 Duo. So the 5 things to look for, number 1 is to make sure you have a charger that will provide all the different battery chemistries that you want to charge. For example, here I've got the Common Sense. So it's got lithium ion, lipo, life, nickel, cadmium, nickel metal hydride, etc. And so obviously the 2 most important ones to look for are nickel metal hydride and lipo. Those are the 2 most common battery types. But a couple other battery types that I think are useful are life batteries. So these are actually batteries I use in my radio transmitters. A little bit better than lipos in my opinion, because they're a little more safe. And then a 4th type I think is really useful is to look for lithium high voltage. So that's LIHV. So this is a new type of lipo battery that actually charges a little bit higher. You can get a little more voltage into those batteries, but you need a charger that can actually charge to that battery type. So lithium high voltage is a new type. Definitely would try to find one that supports that. The second thing to look for is whether it's AC/DC or not, right? So these two chargers, the Common Sense and the Onyx, have a built-in AC charger, or AC power supply. So you don't need to supply your own power supply. You can just plug it in straight into the wall and you're good to go. The iCharger here is pretty much a high-end charger, and most of the nicer chargers out there on the market use an external power supply, and so you'll actually have to buy your own power supply and hook it up, and then so it's really just runs DC straight into the charger. The reason for that is the mid and low end chargers generally don't charge at super high wattage, but these high end chargers can charge at like really high amps, like 40 amps and stuff. So you need a really powerful power supply. So for example, this one is like a 900 watt power supply, 75 amps at 12 volts. So pretty powerful power supply. But if you want the convenience of a built-in power supply, get one that is AC capable, and then you don't have to worry about that. The third thing I think is useful to check out is to make sure it supports the number of cells that you want to run at. So for example, this charger here can run 6S or charge 6S batteries. That's pretty nice, right? That'll pretty much cover just about every battery type out there, at least for surface type stuff. This Onyx 245 only does 2S and 3S, so it's not going to be able to charge those 6S like Outcast or Armor batteries that you might be running in a really powerful machine. The iCharger here also does 6 cell batteries. So make sure your charger actually can support up to the number of batteries that you want to do. The 4th thing, and it's kind of a unknown thing to most people, is that you want to make sure you have a charger that can support storage mode for your lipos. So what is storage mode? Well, it's actually a way for the charger to get your battery down to the optimal storage voltage. So for lipo batteries, that's basically 3.8 to 3.85 volts per cell. So something like a 2-cell battery, it'll charge it to about 7.6 volts. So for lipo batteries, one of the common reasons lipo batteries go bad is that people leave them at fully charged or overly discharged when they're not using the battery. What you really want to do with a lipo battery is always have it at storage voltage whenever you're not using the battery. That'll just make it last a lot longer. It won't damage the battery, and you'll just get better life overall. So storage voltage is really, really important. A lot of chargers don't have that. For example, this Duratrax does not have storage voltage. So whenever you're done running your car, and you've got your LiPo battery sitting around, you really want to set it back to 3.85 volts per cell. So that pretty much means your charger has to be able to discharge. A lot of chargers do not discharge, like this Onyx does not, but this Common Sense RC and the iCharger will allow you to discharge the battery back down to that optimal storage voltage. Or it's also smart enough to figure out, oh well, if your battery is too low, it'll charge it up back to that optimal voltage. So that's number 4. And the last thing to look for, and again, this is something a lot of people don't realize, is you want to make sure your charger has enough wattage for the amount of charging you want to do. So for example, this Common Sense RC does about 50 watts. It's a single channel. It only charges one battery at a time. But with a little bit of math here, wattage equals current times voltage. So if this does 50 watts at something like a 2-cell battery, which is about 8.5 volts or 8.4 volts, right? How many amps can that do? Well, it can charge that at about 5 amps. So 5 amps times 8.4 is still under 50 watts. Now this one over here, the Onyx, I think it charges at up to 45 watts. But again, 45 watts, 2-cell, 45 divided by 8.4, you can do about 4.5, 5 amps, right? The iCharger over here actually goes up to, I think it's 200 watts per channel. It's something ridiculous. I'm not 100% sure actually. It's really high wattage, but again, wattage 200 watts divided by, let's say 8.4 volts. You can charge it like, I guess that's how people are getting up to like 40 amps and stuff. But now that's fine for 2-cell, but if you're running something like a 3-cell or even say a 6-cell, so a 6-cell battery, 6-cell battery is going to be about 25 volts or so. So a 6-cell battery, when it's fully charged, it's charged at about 25 volts. Sorry, I don't have any 6-cell batteries, but 25 volts. So if you have a 50-watt charger, 50 watts divided by 25 volts is only 2 amps. It's only going to be able to charge at 2 amps. So look at the wattage ratings on your chargers. Make sure they're high enough to be able to charge at a decent amperage. For every battery, let's say 5,000 milliamp battery, that means at 5 amps it's going to charge in 1 hour if it's fully discharged. So that's what the capacity means. Milliamp hours means basically 5 amps. 5,000 milliamps will take an hour, etc. So you really want something that can put out enough amps to charge, at least within a reasonable rate, within an hour or so. So it's got to put out enough amps times your voltage, so you need the high enough wattage. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Those are the 5 most important things to look for in a charger. Different chargers are going to have different capabilities. Something like the iCharger is super capable, a ton of wattage, but you do need a external power supply. Something like this is decent. Can't charge at very high amps for like 3-cell to 6-cell, but at 2-cell it's actually pretty decent. It's got a built-in AC charger. The Onyx over here does not have discharge, so I can't really recommend it in general. I just kind of use this actually for like life batteries and stuff, but I think they actually discontinued this. So anyways, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel as always if you haven't already, and look for more videos soon. Thanks for watching.